I'm one of the greatest to ever do it. Lowest fur.
What's up, guys? You're tuning into Brother Talk, here where we talk about everything hip-hop and beyond. Today, we're going to be talking about the series Nation Under Our Feet from the Black Panther comics. Here with me today is Caduce Solomon, who is actually friends with the author of the comics. How are you today,
I'm doing
Caduce?
pretty well today. I know Ta-Nehisi because I grew up with him. He came to me when he first started writing his book, and I gave him a few words of wisdom. Overall, I really enjoyed his book. I really liked how it turned out.
Wow, that must have been awesome growing up and seeing him get this spot on this comic book. That's a big thing. Over the course of our last few podcasts, we've been going in depth about this series, A Nation Under Our Feet, and read through the 3 comics. If you haven't read it yet, we have it linked to it in our website. Pause the video right now, go there, and we're about to have some questions from audience, you guys. So let's dive right into it. Our first question, coming in from Taylor, is: what is the responsibility of a ruler in the face of a revolution against his or her rule? Would you like to answer that one first, Caduce?
Sure. So I think that the responsibility of a ruler in the face of a revolution is to calm their people and plan out what their next move is. I also think that they should send their military if violence is necessary.
That's an interesting take, Caduce. I definitely agree with you on the military part, just because so they could avoid violence, or it could stay as safe as possible. But I kind of have a different take on that. I'd say the people of the civilization are the ones that give power to the rulers, and they're the ones fighting back. So I think you need to hear what the people are thinking first, so you can work with them and understand where they're coming from. Because without the people, you have no power. So I think it all comes back to the people.
That's a very interesting point of view. Question coming from Josh says, when does violence of a revolution cross the line? Do all revolutions always have to be violent?
I'll answer that one first. I'll take it. I think that, one, not all revolutions have to be violent. You can have a revolution without violence. But I think a lot of the times it is necessary to get your point across. But my answer to the first part, when it crosses a line, is the way I see, like, why I think a revolution happens is because one side, they're fighting against the ruler in this example, and it's like a mix of their emotions and like the pain they've been through, whether that's like physical or mental or like political pain. Like, I think it's a balance of that to create a revolution. And when one of those two sides, one of the two, either pain or emotions, takes control and has more power than the other, that will lead to the person actually making actions that will hurt the revolution, and 95% of the time will end badly.
Honestly, I will have to disagree with you on this one, because I think violence from a revolution crosses the line when you start to hurt your own people, as well as when you realize what you're fighting for isn't worth how many people are dying. I also think not all revolutions have to be violent.
So as you can see on that one, 2 very different ideas. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and hopefully we'll be able to get back to you. Now, let's move on to our third question, okay? Coming from Matt Baker. What connections do you see between the Enlightenment ideals and the storyline of Black Panther?
Good question, Matt. I think the Black Panther and the Enlightenment ideas around the 1800s have a lot in common. Because you see the people both in Wakanda and Europe coming together as a society to oppose the ideas and teachings of the government that have been around for a long, long time. And trying to change what they think is wrong and make it a better place for everyone. Except maybe Zeke Stain. He seems like he just wants power and money.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. But also to add on, in the comics, they take some of the ideas of the people revolting and incorporate them into the society to make it a better place. Just like with the ideas of Enlightenment movements, like slavery and how to treat women, for example. So I say that's another good example of how they kind of relate.
Oh, good point. That change in the system at the end is very important for both examples. But our fourth and final question of the day, coming from John Silver, is what connections do you see between the Atlantic's revolutions and the storyline of Black Panther?
The many revolutions in the Atlantic Revolution period and the storyline of Black Panther are similar to each other because they start with the citizens going against the rulers of the nations. Then the government fights back against the people in multiple ways, and finally ends with one side destroying the other, which will usually be the government just because they have more power, or the revolution and the government coming together and working together as one and kind of being able to agree on similar ideas and fix what's wrong. But that's usually a little less likely. At least that's what we've seen in history. Unfortunately, though, that's all the time we have today. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll be back same time, same place next week. If you haven't read the books yet, go to the description. We got them on our website. Thank you again, Caduce. It's a great talk, great book. Any final words?
I'd just like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for allowing me to be on your show. I really appreciate it. I just wish the best for you and your show. Hopefully you continue to grow. Thank you. And yeah, peace out.
You guys heard Caduce say it, but peace out. It's a great talk. Really cool guy. We got another special guest coming next week, and we're going to go even more into this book. So if you have not read it yet, once again, link in the description. Go give it a read. Until next time, I'll see you later. Have a good day.